Hello, everyone. This is the Mind of Lilith, and thank you for joining me for your Jupiter in Gemini astrological reading for all sun signs and ascendants. Jupiter has left Taurus and will be traveling through the sign of Gemini from May 25th, 2024 till June 9th, 2025. So Jupiter is called the greater benefic and facilitates opportunities for growth, expansion, and freedom for better or worse. Gemini is a mutable sign that is ruled by the planet Mercury, which isn't necessarily a friend of Jupiter. Jupiter is debilitated in both Mercury-ruled signs of Gemini and Virgo, and Jupiter rules the mutable signs of Sagittarius and Pisces. Mercury is a planet of distinction, categorization, calculations, weights, measures, logic, and detached objective rationalism. Jupiter, on the other hand, synthesizes, it amalgamates, it merges, and it aggregates in search of higher understanding and wisdom. Unlike Sagittarius, Gemini doesn't necessarily seek wisdom. It's more interested in knowledge or facts. The transit of Jupiter through the sign of Gemini can result in excessive communication that is informative, but divisive and not constructive or unifying. The objective is just to talk or express one's ideas without seeking understanding or wisdom. Voices will be amplified into a muddled cacophony of derision, confusion, distraction, and for those who seek it, enlightenment. Now, Saturn and Pisces will be making a square aspect to Jupiter by degree and then by sign, which will force the collective to evaluate or assess the validity of their arguments. Are people discussing the facts or their interpretation of the facts based on their own belief systems? As a result, the collective will be more interested in acquiring knowledge and developing their scholarship to better substantiate their opinions and their beliefs. We've seen some of this come into the fore over the past several months as the Pluto and Sagittarius Generation Z, actively protested political war crimes against Gazans, just as the millennials did in 2011 during the Occupy Wall Street protests. So the Pluto and Sagittarius generation will be fighting about ideological, political, or religious wars, just as the Pluto and Leo generation fought for civil rights and against the Vietnam War. Saturn represents order, structures, restrictions, tradition, limitation, and the law. And Pisces represents our ideals, beliefs, morals, and what we are willing to sacrifice ourselves for. Over the past year, while Saturn has been in Pisces, laws have been passed banning affirmative action, limiting free speech, and punishing protesters and academics who are not in alignment with the genocide in Gaza. Many people are becoming disillusioned as hidden power players finally show their hand, revealing how corrupt the American political system is. So we're going to see a lot of whistleblowers this year, as well as Jupiter and Gemini square Saturn and Pisces. Saturn and Pisces square Jupiter and Gemini will increase conversations about political science and scientists. We might even see an ideological war or religious war. Saturn will try to utilize deceptive or covert ways of taking away freedom of thought, ideas, beliefs, and freedom, period. The presidential election is in danger of being severely compromised, and Saturn will use its brute force to crush socio-political unrest. With Saturn in Pisces square Jupiter in Gemini, there may also be accidents during air, Gemini, or sea Pisces travel. So we may have more accidents in these areas over the next year. With Jupiter colliding with Saturn, opportunities will be limited, or there will be a lot of weight and responsibility that comes with abundance and opportunity. If you earn more money, you will have to pay more taxes and work longer hours. If you increase your social network, you will have less personal time for yourself. If you buy a new home, you may have to spend more money to maintain it. Reaching out to your social network, doing your own research and due diligence, hard work, discipline, maturity, being practical, focused, and optimistic will be the best ways to attract new opportunities and sustain what you have acquired. If you take on too much, you may end up being burnt out. There's also a possibility that the collective will experience some sort of loss of faith or loss of belief in the system with the Saturn-Jupiter square. The good news is Jupiter is forming a trine with Pluto in Aquarius for about 2 months, which will give us the strength, optimism, courage, and determination to speak our truths regardless of the consequences. A lot of us will also read and write more in an effort to change the status quo or speak truth to power. We will also see a massive acceleration of technological advancement. The US dollar may crash this fall around October when Pluto retrogrades into Capricorn, which may officially usher in the digital currency age, as well as the first rollout of digital IDs, which I'm not particularly fond of with the Saturn conjunct Neptune transit. As Saturn moves towards Neptune, illusions of the Piscean age will dissolve into stark and ugly clarity as the entire system of finance, education, politics, religion, and entertainment media is exposed as a sham and a Ponzi scheme. Saturn in Pisces, square Jupiter, also reminds me of the Bible verse from Matthew 13, verse 49 to 50. So it will be at the end of the age, the angels will come forth and take out the wicked from among the righteous, and will throw them into the furnace of fire. In that place, there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The gnashing of teeth, to me, means that people will regret. A lot of Americans, a lot of people who live in the Western society will regret buying into a system because they believe that it temporarily benefited them socially and financially. And these benefits were at the expense of the marginalized, brown and black people, people of different religions, people who were really poor. So voices of dissent and despair will be drowned out by the chaos of structural collapse. And a lot of people will suffer from bitter disillusionment, which will give us an odd sense of freedom, but also a fear about our future. We know that a lot of painful sacrifices will have to be made by the collective, but a lot of us are also aware that the elites are looking for excuses to use destructive force to suppress, oppress, and enslave the collective. The elites want the smoke at this point, just as bad as the slaves, the serfs, and the peons. And unfortunately, the age of Aquarius may be the final age before revelation, so to speak, because there is a deliberate agenda to corrupt human society and the DNA for a variety of reasons. But anyway, Jupiter and Gemini will influence the collective to search for knowledge and deeper meaning by having more practical and serious conversations about our beliefs, ideologies, and politics. What do we spend most of our time reading, writing, talking, listening to, and thinking about? There will also be a renewed interest in the written word. I'll be publishing my first book during the transit. I wanted to do it while Jupiter was in Taurus, but Jupiter in Taurus was more useful for me to build my ideological framework for my writing career, i.e. identifying my own values so that I may share with others. And with Saturn squaring Jupiter this year, opportunities may come after sacrifice or with sacrifice. So in order for you to take advantage of opportunities, you may have to sacrifice an area of your life that is pertaining to whatever house Saturn is in. So if Saturn is currently transiting your fourth house, you may have to make sacrifices as it pertains to family or your home environment. On the other hand, if Saturn is transiting through your second house, you may have to sacrifice financially or make financial sacrifices in order to take advantage of new opportunities. Finally, mutable signs, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces will have a lot of attention this year, for better or worse, okay? Now on to the signs. Jupiter in the first house. For Gemini, Sun and Ascendants. Gemini, this is your year. Jupiter is in your first house conjunct your ascendant. Opportunities will come to you without much effort on your part, especially if you've been putting in the work over the past several years. Your intellectual curiosity and natural communication skills will benefit you personally and professionally as you're feeling more ambitious, lucky, confident, optimistic, and even outspoken. People will see you more favorably this year, giving you praise, rewards, and new opportunities because of your sparkling intellect and communication skills. You may decide to move to a new city or state for a job, which may take longer than you expect, or you may end up spending more money than you intend to. You will have luck on your side in all areas of your life, and you will accomplish most of your goals if you're willing to make some sacrifices. Now, Saturn is still transiting through your 10th house, so you're working hard in your career, and your hard work will pay off, but may lead to more work-related responsibilities, or you won't have much time to spend at home with your family. You are feeling more social, friendly, and confident to take risks or try new things, but you're also being more discerning about who you associate with. Some of you will outgrow relationships, friendships, or other stagnating situations, and in rare cases, some Geminis will finalize a divorce or a long-term relationship only to attract a new partner relatively quickly. You're feeling optimistically reserved over the next year, which means that you will do your research before you trust anyone or anything, but you will still go ahead and pursue new projects, new ideas, new opportunities, etc. Geminis refuse to make the same mistakes in relationships. In spite of the Neptune and Pisces transit, You are challenging the way that you navigate through relationships, home and family dynamics, and your career. Your siblings may become more successful this year, and if you're older, your children may leave the nest to go off to college or to travel long distances. If your children are acting up, they may get involved in legal trouble or go through some sort of disciplinary action. Encourage your children to cultivate their intellect by writing, reading, and learning a new language, and also traveling. When Saturn moves into Aries, it will enter your 11th house of friends and associates. You may decide to withdraw from some of your associates or your network circle, especially if their behavior doesn't align with your professional aspirations or your reputation and social status. This is like, suppose you've partnered with somebody who's a bit messy, or you're collaborating with somebody who has a messy personal life. You may distance yourself from them because you don't want their drama to spill over to what you're trying to do for yourself. If you have been on a healing or a spiritual journey over the past year, you will gain the confidence to share your knowledge and insight with the world. Now into the sign of Taurus, Jupiter in the second house for Taurus, Sun and Ascendants. Taurus, this is also your year. Jupiter is entering your second house, which is your home, over the next year. After hard work and sacrifice, your finances or earning potential will increase. Some of you may start a new job or career courtesy of your social network, friends, or other associates. People are more inclined to give you money or support for your personal and professional endeavors. Be careful not to spend more money than you earn or become a slave to your expensive lifestyle. Your finances stabilize and increase as you focus on what's really important to you instead of allowing pride and ego to affect your money. This year, you're also going to be more communicative. You're going to speak more, talk more, in an effort to sell your services, market yourself, increase your social network, etc., etc. And that will help you financially as well. Saturn is making a square transit to Jupiter, so your earning potential is directly proportional to the amount of time, energy, and effort you invest in your work. Saturn reduces luck. If you're lucky enough to earn a lot of money or a financial windfall, you will have to budget your money wisely, pay off your debts, pay your taxes, pay your living expenses, and splurge only after you have a substantial safety net, because Saturn squaring your second house could cause temporary financial setbacks or losses and unemployment, which can be resolved if you use your exceptional communication skills to gain more financial opportunities. On the other hand, your parents may be more social this year, traveling and spending more time pursuing romantic or creative interests, and your children may experience some spotlight this year, successfully accomplishing their goals, gaining more fame or notoriety after years of hard work. This could be graduating school, starting a new job, so on. Some of you will pay more attention to what you put in your mouth because it's affecting your overall health and physical appearance. Taurians and Arians may have to make several visits to the dentist or endocrinologist this year. Saturn square Jupiter can make you face insecurities about your self-worth or your finances, which will compel you to make changes in these areas. This year, you are solidifying all the gains you've made in the past year by investing more time, energy, and resources on your financial security. Jupiter in the third house for Aries, Sun, and Ascendants. Aries, Gemini is in your third house of education, communication, siblings, short-distance travel. This year, you're feeling more communicative, more talkative, honest, forthcoming, which will bring you more opportunities to expand your social network. This year, you will learn a lot about yourself while traveling. You may also want to spend more time with siblings or closer to home or in your old neighborhood where you grew up. You attract more opportunities for collaboration, teamwork, learning, and traveling. Many of you will have an increased interest in reading and writing various topics to inform some of your discussions. You want to appear smarter or more intellectually astute. Some of you believe that if you increase your knowledge, then you'll be able to increase your social influence. A lot of Arians may feel the need to get out of the house and travel more than usual. You may also connect more with neighbors, for better or worse. Some of you guys are feeling more talkative and thus more focused on your dental health. You may get dental procedures, braces, teeth cleaning, caps, veneers. You're more focused on your mouth this year. Although you're feeling more sociable than usual, the nature of your conversations may get more serious, practical, and business-oriented. You may feel lonely while you travel, but a lot of Arians prefer to do things alone anyway. Your siblings may come to you for professional help, and many Arians may decide to go back to school to increase their earning potential or even start their own school. Or learn how to communicate more professionally. Saturn square Jupiter can make you feel self-conscious about the way you speak or your education, so you may focus on improving these areas of your life. Some Arians will have to reflect on how their subconscious beliefs and their past memories affect the way that they think and communicate. if you started a business or a new job last year, you are using your time and resources to expand your business or to diversify your products and services. Now let's get to Jupiter in the 4th house for the Pisces, Sun, and Ascendant signs. Pisces, Jupiter is in your 4th house of home, family, your mother, children, etc. There are more opportunities to move to a new residence or expand your family. Relatives or friends may also move into your home. There are changes to your residence or your mother's residence this year as well. You may move to a bigger, nicer home, or you'll have more space in your home after someone moves out, or if you move. Your home becomes more comfortable, but in some cases, many of you are looking to leave the nest, especially if your house is small, cramped, or in a bad area. These changes will offer you relief as Saturn has been conjunct your sign for the past year, but many of you have to deal with the responsibilities of managing the home as your own, which may require you to work extra hours or reduce your spending in other areas. Some of you decide to work from home or move to a new city or state for your career. You may feel more comfortable in your home this year, which is conducive to your educational pursuits. You'll have more opportunities to work from home or attend school at home. Conversely, you'll be a lot busier with friends, school, family, or traveling, which may take you out of the home as well. If you've been suffering from depression, anxiety, or health issues, you'll experience some relief in these areas. If you have siblings, they'll earn more money this year, and you may move to a wealthier neighborhood. Some Pisceans will be more fertile this year, so if you don't want to have a baby, please be careful. Some of you will reflect on how your family dynamics have affected your personality and relationships. If you traveled a lot last year, you may be inspired to move to a new location that better suits your lifestyle and personal interests. Now let's get to Jupiter in the 5th house for Aquarius, Sun, and Ascendant signs. Okay, Aquarius, Jupiter is moving into your 5th house of children, creativity, and romance. You will have more opportunities for love, romance, pregnancy, and overall fun. As a word of caution, you will be more fertile than usual this year, Leos, especially with Uranus still transiting through Taurus, which is your 10th house, but Uranus on the angular houses can cause a lot of unexpected events to happen in your life in general. And these events will affect your home, family dynamics, your career, your social status, and your relationships in general. So be careful if you don't want to get pregnant this year, especially if you also have the moon in Gemini, Aquarius. This year, you'll be focusing more on your children or allowing more joy and creativity into your life after a long period of hard work, sacrifice, etc. You will also attract more friends and romantic partnerships. Heart-to-heart conversations with friends, family, children, and lovers will restore relationships. There's also a possibility of friends becoming casual hookups. So make sure you guys are on the same page before you engage in any of that type of activity. Saturn's transit in Pisces has made parenting burdensome or at the least expensive. And some of you have had difficulty or limitations when it comes to your children, but also involving finances, taxes, debts, inheritances. You will have some relief in these areas, but don't spend frivolously. There may be increased costs associated with children for food, extracurricular activities, school, housing, or childcare. Your siblings may be returning to school or sharing their knowledge via writing, teaching, or public speaking. Financial limitations or setbacks will force you to be more conscientious about your spending, and new professional opportunities will reduce your time with friends, family, and lovers. You'll have to determine what you value more: fun time and freedom, or financial stability. If you moved to a new location last year, you may be meeting a new lover near your residence, or you may end up moving in with someone that you're in a relationship with throughout the course of the year. Now let's get into Capricorn, Sun, and Ascendant. Capricorn, Jupiter is in your 6th house of health, work, daily habits, diet, and routines. You will have more opportunities for work or improving your health. You are focused on how you can orient your lifestyle to accomplish your goals more efficiently and effectively. Some of you will learn new skills or start a new project, which will force you to reevaluate your work-life health balance. Health challenges may have an impact on your energetic output. Capricorns will feel more optimistic about structuring their lives to accomplish their goals. And if they have been estranged from their siblings, the line of communications will reopen. Siblings may be available to help you manage your affairs. You may experience a brief health scare that forces you to reevaluate your diet, lifestyle, or unhealthy attitudes and behaviors that are influencing your health, especially if you are overworking. If you have older children, they'll become financially more self-sufficient at this time. Some of you may, experiment with drugs, alcohol, medicines, and herbs to address mental health issues. And there is a risk of becoming addicted or taking too much of something. Some of you will have to learn how your lifestyle and diet is a reflection of your subconscious beliefs about yourself. Lucid dreams will also be very informative for you. If you started a relationship last year, you are now figuring out how you and your partner will live together. How do your lives coalesce? Are your lifestyles in alignment? Are you compatible in the long term? Once the honeymoon phase is over, you're thinking about the practical aspects of your relationship. Now let's get to Jupiter in the 7th house for Sagittarius, Sun, and Ascendant signs. Okay. Jupiter is in your 7th house of marriage, open enemies, relationship, and competition, Sagittarius. So you will have more opportunities for marriage or significant business partnerships that will help you in your career. Your social calendar will be more active this year as you attract new people into your life. Unfortunately, Jupiter in the 7th house can also increase the amount of haters you have or negative attention from competitors. But do not let these people veer you off your course. Your relationship with others will teach you a lot about yourself, and you're learning about how your personality, attitudes, beliefs, and perspectives have affected your relationships for better or worse. Saturn's transit in Pisces may make you feel like you're wasting time and you don't have enough time, or you'll feel older and more mature as a result, which will make you more selective about your relationships. And many of you are opening yourself up to the wider world after years of seclusion. Jupiter in this position isn't always positive, especially with the Saturn square, so you may feel like you have more enemies or haters, or more people who want to argue with you about your perspectives, opinions, or attitudes, which may compel you to reflect on how you communicate and relate to others. Jupiter in the angular houses can cause humbling experiences if you're too cocky, arrogant, self-centered, and unwilling to compromise. If you have siblings that are of childbearing age, there's a possibility of pregnancy or adoption. And there are periods where you feel fearless, optimistic, and outgoing, but then you'll doubt or second guess yourself. Do not do that. All you have to do is do your due diligence, do your research, think through your plan carefully and critically, create a strategy, and then implement that plan. If you move impulsively, you're going to second guess yourself, especially with Saturn squaring your ruling planet. So with Saturn squaring your ruling planet, you have to be careful not to be so reckless, delusional, irresponsible, and flippant at the mouth. You have to speak very carefully and you have to think carefully. And I think you're good at that. Sagittarians are really gifted speakers and teachers. So I have faith that you guys will have an excellent year. You'll be able to defeat all your haters and move forward successfully. But a lot of the hatred could also be self-hatred. Some of you guys may be on a self-sabotaging streak because of the Saturn-Neptune square to your sign. And again, Saturn is squaring your sun sign's ruler, Jupiter. So a lot of the conflict you have may be a manifestation or a mirror of inner turmoil or battles you have within yourself. I don't know why I'm getting this message now. Some of you guys have to be careful not to feed into suicidal ideations. Okay, that's not the solution. If you're having issues with depression or other mental health problems, you have to go to therapy. You may have to change your diet. You have to exercise, and you also have to change your perspective about your experiences that you've been through. And you may need a second or third party to help you do that. Do not spend too much time alone if you're having these suicidal or self-harm ideations. A lot of you are at war with yourself, and you have been for quite a while, and this is an opportunity for you to heal. Do not use your pain as an excuse to inflict more pain or harm on yourself. When we experience pain, it's an opportunity for us to look at the pain, evaluate where it's coming from, and then do something about it in a productive way, in a way that will help you to survive and also help others with your testimony. So you want to be able to live to tell the story of how you survived through all your trauma and all your self-hatred issues, okay? So there are periods where you may feel fearless, optimistic, and outgoing, but then you'll doubt or second guess yourself. And like Pisceans, Sagittarians will do a lot of soul searching this year to learn how their upbringing and family dynamics have affected their self-image and their relationships. If you have made significant lifestyle and health changes over the past year, you may find yourself attracting different types of partners who align with your new sense of self. Jupiter in the 8th house, Scorpio, Sun, and Ascendants. Scorpio, Jupiter is in your 8th house of debts, taxes, divorce, lawsuits, inheritance, and other people's money. You will have more opportunities to win lawsuits, which may mean that you're on court more often. There's also more opportunities to receive unearned income, tax returns, insurance policies, divorce settlements, etc. Some of you may have to pay settlements to ex-partners, or you're on the receiving end of a legal settlement. Your sexual appetite may also be heightened during this time period. You're more interested in learning about sexuality, the occult, spirituality, psychology, and the mysteries of life. Unexpected pregnancies are also possible, and be careful with your sexual activities as there is an increased risk of STI transmissions. Secret affairs will also be exposed because someone's going to talk about your business. Either you'll do it by accident or someone else is going to do it. Some of you may also discover that you have secret enemies or haters who want to sabotage your opportunities. Jupiter in the 8th is an auspicious placement for winning a lawsuit, an insurance payout, or the lottery. But Saturn is making a square aspect to Jupiter, which means one of two things. You'll either have to spend a lot of money to win a lot of money in return, or whatever you do win will have to be allocated for expenses, bills, taxes, debts. Some Scorpios will feel burdened by secrets or threats of being exposed. There's also a possibility of emotional blackmail or financial blackmail, extortion, or having to make difficult financial decisions. Now, again, even though Jupiter is considered to be a benefic, it increases things. So it can also increase negative experiences or challenges, as well as positive ones. So you have to be flexible and you have to be strategic. Do not allow a short-term or temporary loss to completely knock you off your square. You can still reorient yourself, re-strategize, and come out on top. Some of you may also receive a large tax refund, loan, or government grant, but you'll have to account for your expenses because Saturn is also an aspect. Some of you may be audited by the IRS and receive a large refund afterwards. You'll have to spend more money on your children for childcare, education, healthcare, etc. If you have siblings, they could be going through major health and lifestyle transformations, and some of them are leaving jobs to start a new career. Some of you are learning that emotional and mental baggage from previous romantic relationships is preventing you from trusting someone new. Now let's get to Jupiter in the 9th house. Jupiter in the 9th house for Libra, Sun, and Ascendant. Libra, Jupiter is in your 9th house of higher learning, foreign affairs, politics, long-distance travel, and legal matters. There's an increased interest in higher education, traveling, politics, or philosophy. If this is your midheaven, you are feeling aligned with your life purpose, especially if you're interested in being a lawyer or professor. Some of you are feeling extra litigious this year, or you'll have to spend some time in court to resolve health or work-related issues. For example, if you were injured on a job, you may win a lawsuit for workman's comp or something like that during this time period. There's also an increased interest in traveling, higher education, or learning foreign languages. But with Saturn in aspect, work obligations or health issues are preventing you from completely immersing yourself in new experiences. If you do decide to go through with court proceedings, you may go through some sort of a delay because of Saturn's squaring aspect, and there could also be some unexpected disappointments like statute of limitations expiring or a smaller financial payout than expected. If you are going through a divorce, the process may take longer and you'll be more focused on your work and could consider going back to school for another degree or certification to increase your income and employment options. Traveling experiences may also be disappointing because of health or work-related illnesses. Like you can get sick while traveling, Montezuma's revenge, some sort of flu or something like that. Or you'll have to work while on vacation, especially if you're in a managerial position. If you have siblings that are of age, they could be getting married, entering a serious relationship. If you went through a divorce or betrayal over the past year, you may become more interested in exploring legal options for protecting your assets. And some of you may travel long distances or even overseas to meet new potential lovers. Now on to Jupiter in the 10th house for Virgo, Sun, and Ascendant. Virgo, Jupiter is in your 10th house of social status, accomplishments, fame, success, and your public reputation. You will have more opportunities for career advancement, promotions, raises, and overall success. Many of you will feel more popular this year, and the spotlight will be on you, especially if you have been working hard to accomplish your goals. You may start a new career or get a raise or promotion that gives you more money and power, but also more work. However, these opportunities will create more responsibilities, which may cause tension in your personal relationships. Some of you may feel like you're too visible or accessible and may try to retreat into your shell to recharge your batteries. If you are a public speaker or on a social media platform, you will gain more popularity because of your unique perspective on topics. And some of you may decide to start or join a book club or literacy club, and knowledge is becoming more important to you as you evolve. Not just opinions and conjecture, but real knowledge. If you have siblings, they could become more secretive or mysterious this year. They could also come into some money from divorce or insurance policy. As you become more realistic about your life and your relationships, you'll become more successful. You may have to walk away from an intimate partnership to realize your goals. And some of you may be thinking about your father more often because of health issues on his part, or you may have more conversations with him and your mother about your childhood, especially if you want to begin the process of healing emotional baggage from your childhood. This year, you are learning how your personality and relationships are impacting your reputation and your status in society. You're learning how to communicate in ways that will help you to grow your platform or to improve your social status. If you finish school or training program over the past year, this year you'll get hired in the profession of your choice, but you may have to accept a lower salary than you thought. Jupiter in the 11th house. For Leo suns and ascendant signs, Leo, Jupiter will be transiting through your 11th house of hopes, wishes, social networks, and friendships this year. You will have more opportunities to cultivate new social networks based on your elevated social status, courtesy of last year's Jupiter and Taurus transit. And for this year especially, your network is your net worth. Use your friends and associates and people that you're working with to help you to gain more opportunities for promotions, raises, new homes, relationships, etc. Okay? There is also a possibility of wish fulfillment, you getting what you have hoped for and longed for a year, 2 years, or whatever. However, Saturn is here. So with Saturn being in a square aspect to Jupiter in the 11th house, this is be careful what you wish for, because whatever you may have wanted may require a lot more time, energy, effort, and resources than you initially expected. This year, you're also consolidating new relationships based on changes to your social status or a new career. You're taking your career more seriously and being intentional about associating with individuals who will help you to meet your goals. Some of you may get a raise or bonus due to your hard work. This year, your friends and networks are a great resource to help you fulfill your deepest hopes and wishes. But again, with Saturn being in a square aspect, be careful what you wish for because it could cost you a lot more than you bargained for. For example, if a friend, coworker, or someone that you're dating helps you significantly, they may feel like they own you or you are indebted to them in perpetuity. They may become very controlling over you or manipulative, okay? Do not get involved in romances in the workplace because at some point you may feel obligated to continue the relationship to avoid negative professional consequences if you decide to break up. So with Saturn being in your 8th house, this could also be financial or emotional blackmail, like somebody who's threatening to, expose things about you because they don't want you to break up with them or because they want you to keep giving them money. And initially, this person looked like your friend or they look like somebody who you really want to be with. But this person, they may be trying to get their claws deep in you and they may be using your relationship as a way to get control over your resources. So be careful about that because Saturn is still in your 8th house. If you have siblings, some of them will travel, go back to school, begin publishing books, work in an academic institution, learn foreign languages, or they'll have to deal with legal matters in the courts. This year, you're going to learn important lessons about power in personal and intimate relationships. Be careful not to put friends or lovers in positions to betray you or to have control over your life, covertly or overtly. There could be power struggles in your relationship, so be careful. For a few of you, an unexpected pregnancy could make life more complicated. Don't use your blessings as an excuse to get reckless, Leos, okay? So you have a lot of good stuff coming to you this year, but don't get carried away because Saturn is still in a square aspect in your 8th house, and it is a challenging house, okay? So just relax. Okay, Jupiter in the 12th house for Cancer, Sun, and Ascendant. Cancer, Jupiter is entering your 12th house of hidden things, the subconscious, secrets, seclusion, etc. You will have more opportunities to heal past trauma that is preventing you from embracing your talents and sharing them with others. You are learning how to love yourself this year, regardless of your flaws. Chiron in Aries has been making a square aspect to your sun or ascendant since 2016, and many of you have gone through excruciating and humiliating experiences that force you to not only acknowledge your shadow side, but to learn from it and integrate it into your identity. Nobody is perfect, and if you need to be seen as perfect, that veil is being pulled down or was pulled down in the past. This is not a punishment from the universe. This is the universe's way of helping you to heal the parts of yourself that you're ashamed of. Not because God is ashamed of you, but because of how you think other people will see you if they find out you have flaws. You're learning how to not give a damn about how other people see you. You are not the only one in the world with your problems. So don't allow anyone to make you feel less than you are because you don't know their secrets and they know yours, right? A lot of Cancerian sun and ascendants will feel compelled to excavate their subconscious or to face or address their deepest, darkest fears, paranoia, compulsions, and memories that have had a negative impact on their psyche. Some Cancerians will face lawsuits from hidden enemies, or you'll be planning a lawsuit against an institution for issues like discrimination, estate conservatorship, financial fraud, etc. Saturn is currently in your 9th house of legal matters, so these procedures may take some time to resolve. However, with Jupiter in the 12th house, you are optimistic about your chances for success or positive outcome in your favor, but you'll have to weigh the pros and cons of the lawsuit. A lot of you will seek therapy or counseling to help you heal from past trauma that has negatively affected your mental health and thus your relationship with the world in general. With Saturn 9th house, you're also taking your studies more seriously. You're going back to school, you're traveling more, doing more research, you're pretty much learning new philosophies. You are consolidating your ideologies or belief systems to help you to resolve some trauma that is still lingering in your life. You'll be keeping your health issues to yourself, managing them in private. Some of you are also getting treatment for addictions, depression, or anxiety in secret. You're planting the seeds for your reemergence next year when Jupiter enters its exaltation in your sign. So please use the next year to tie up loose ends, till the soil, and plant the seeds for future success. You don't want to wait until next year to build a platform or start a business. Begin that process now. You don't plant seeds when it's time to harvest. You plant seeds months, weeks, and sometimes years ahead. Tend to the soil of your subconscious to remove the weeds of self-hatred, self-doubt, insecurity, fear, anger, and depression, all of which will sabotage opportunities for future success next year, Cancers. So with Jupiter and Gemini, you're talking to yourself. You're talking to your subconscious. You're having conversations with your inner child. And by doing that, you are giving yourself the space and the grace to heal, because you're allowing yourself to feel whatever negative emotions are associated with what you have been hiding from yourself for years. Okay? Oh, one more thing. Both Cancers and Capricorns are finding out that they have secret allies in the workplace, people who will have your back that you never expected. So don't be afraid to reach out for help and to communicate your problems openly so that people can come to your aid if you need their support. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I look forward to reading your feedback. If you want to order a personal reading from me, you can go to my website. The link is in the description box. I look forward to reading your feedback. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.